with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck, hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and friends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with super fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe.
Good morning, everybody. This is a beautiful little keyboard here. Yeah. Let's get you to my face. I don't know why it does that.
Go.
All right. Maybe I need to switch some settings in Google Chrome. Maybe that's my dominant camera.
Yeah, it could be.
Right. But hey, everybody, welcome to the morning coffee show in the shell. Super fast Tortoise, all the fun jazz.
Go.
Oh.
I took care of that.
All right. Thank you. We got Time Capsule. Time Capsule. Have a great stream. I appreciate you stopping by. I know you got work to do. And we got a Matt Saxon.
Good morning.
Good morning. Ooh. Oh, man. This is the first time you've been on the show since I got my new setup.
It looks pretty sharp. I was watching you guys yesterday, and I noticed it looks pretty clean.
Yeah. Well, the new setup is I got a new PC that's running everything, so I should have, like less of the errors I guess I was having.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really having a lot of errors other than the camera switch thing, which I think is a Google Chrome thing here.
It seemed like you were running pretty smooth.
Oh yeah, this computer's pretty nuts. I was completely surprised by it. We had a whole show about it yesterday.
Nice.
All right, and sorry I missed your link. I was talking to the wife at the moment. I didn't see her.
Not to worry. I'm here as a guest. I serve at your leisure.
Right?
Yeah. Somebody, two people here on this stream though knew about the computer before he did.
Nice.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, apparently, even my wife was shocked that I got it as early as I did. Wife and son pitched in to grab me a new PC because my laptop could not have Windows 11 on it, and our biggest worry at the moment, and I didn't know how big of a worry it was for everybody, but programs will update, and if they get Windows 11 update, it won't work on my computer.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's part of what I was worried about and stuff too, and partly mine was just kind of trash after 11 years or however long I'd had it.
Yeah, and plus my battery was bad and the laptop was horrible.
Ooh.
But it worked for years, and thanks to Kuji dude, that laptop has served the show well. So now I got this whole new rig to produce some more little clips and stuff. I need to get comfortable with it. I'm still getting comfortable with the keyboard because the keyboard is different from the laptop. So there's little things where I'm used to just because I've done it for years. Like the delete buttons in a completely different place.
Yes.
The up and down buttons are in a different place. So I'm trying to get used to that. But the keyboard's all fancy, it glows different colors, and it has there's a little scroll bar on the keyboard that adjusts the audio, which I thought was nuts.
I got one of those just on my keyboard just now too. It's kind of handy to have that.
Yeah, but
I gotta say, even if it's your setup looks sharper, even though your image and stuff. I mean, I'm sure you're using the same camera and stuff, right?
Right, same camera, same everything.
Yeah, it looks a little sharper though. So
that's cool.
Yep. I've even said that when you did the first stream on it.
Yeah.
I thought you were just teasing me.
No,
I didn't realize I looked sharper. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's probably because the processor's running better, faster, more complete. But anyways, how are you guys doing today, Hillbilly?
Doing okay. Dealing with my pinched nerve, but other than that, doing all right.
All right. pinched nerves are never fun.
No.
It's lasting a long time. I'm glad we know what it's not. You know, all the things that we Googled and scared the shit out of us.
Yeah.
And how are you doing, Matt Saxon?
I am doing fine. I am happy to be here today, and yeah, I'm doing good. I can't complain. I mean, I could, but why bother?
Why bother? But really quick, I want to give Lone Wolf a little bit of time. You hear, Lone Wolf?
Yep, I'm here.
In the description, there's a link for a GoFundMe link that I put in the description today. You want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, so the GoFundMe link is for me and my brother. We're trying to move into another apartment. Our current place where we're living at is raising the rent, and it's just getting to where me and my brother can't keep up, especially when they're doing it twice a year. So we're trying to save up enough money through this GoFundMe link to help us get something cheaper. And all these funds that go towards this GoFundMe will be used for this new place and any moving expenses that we need.
All right. Let's hope it's successful, everybody.
Cool.
All right. So we do have a topic today, but before we get to the topic of the day, we got to get to a specific thing, and that is
Card of the day.
Ooh. All right. We might have covered this card not so long ago, but I think this card is going to be a powerhouse that people are not thinking about.
But yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, 7/5 for 3. I mean, gotta be a good card.
And in the right colors for its drawback, right? If
Yeah.
this was red and blue, this would be less of a drawback. Since it's black, it's a great drawback. Since it's green, it's another great drawback because of all the reanimation you have in Commander and Modern and stuff. This might see Modern play, probably not. I say probably not because I don't know Modern well enough. But 3 mana for a 7/5. Whenever Bebop or Rocksteady attack or block, you sacrifice a permanent unless you discard a card. That's just asking for a reanimation deck.
Oh yeah. I need to find this card in the Omen Pass because I've been looking for it because I want to play it.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I can't wait for the turtle set to come out to get this card for my cube.
Oh, that's
And
right.
there's an interesting fact about this picture. Back in the day when Tabal was experimenting with magic and potions, he actually turned his brothers into a warthog and a rhino.
For some odd reason, I got Spider-Man on my brain still. That's why I mentioned Omen Pass. This is the Turtles card, but yeah, this is going to be a great card when it does come out in standard as is.
Right.
Oh, that's such a great card.
Moment pass, yes. And we're going to go from this card to the picture of the day, which is chasing that pizza through time and space for breakfast.
We just had some good old pizza or some breakfast.
Yeah, I love breakfast pizzas. I think Casey's here has a great breakfast pizza.
Yeah, I mean there ain't nothing like eating cold pizza in the morning. So good.
I'd say leftover pizza, not old pizza, because old pizza has like a long-standing time frame of what
a negative connotation to that, I think.
I just throw that pizza in the refrigerator, eat it tomorrow, next day for
That's
breakfast.
right. That's always good pizza, especially from Papa Murphy's. Oh, I love me some Papa Murphy's pizzas. I love their like several layer all meat pizza. So good. Man, that is the picture of the day, everybody. Everybody, we got a topic today for you.
Really quick, I hate to interrupt, but like the first thing I thought when I saw Spine of Isha is what I thought when I saw Bebop or Rocksteady.
Oh, nice.
That's the one that comes into the battlefield. Artifact comes on the battlefield, destroys something. If it goes into your graveyard, you return it to your hand.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there's plenty of loops, like you said, in both green and black.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Should have said that earlier when we were on the card of the day. You could have interrupted.
I didn't want to interrupt. I was trying to be polite.
So we're talking Universes Beyond today, but with a monologue to back it up, right? We're not just going to talk about Universes Beyond blankly today, because yesterday I was reading an article and I watched some YouTube videos on this particular topic, and it inspired me to give this twist on it. And this twist is similar to the same twist as when The Walking Dead came out, which is kind of ironically not funny. Magic the Gathering has seen an evolution, a mutation in its product lineup. You see what I did there? I said mutation because turtles are coming out. We have seen an increase of Universes Beyond in Magic the Gathering. Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, somewhere down the line, they have decided that Universes Beyond is the best way to go forward with their lineup in Magic the Gathering, and they have doubled down on it. Through reading articles and watching interviews on the topic, I have learned that they, Wizards of the Coast, do listen to our collective complaints about Universes Beyond. But more than ever, they look at the hard data that they receive on sales and whatnot that shows where they are making their money on sales and profit. They are making more money on Universes Beyond sets overall rather than the regular sets, is what they're saying. They are dominating with the Universes Beyond sets. So by financial chart, they are seeing which metaphorical well they can go back to and dip back into to keep getting those gains. Yes, that's how they're making that money. Our opinions may vary from person to person. I want to get into that, but we can't ignore these facts. We share our thoughts. Ooh, monologue. See what I did there? I put Wizard's opinion in it.
Yeah, yep. I mean, they did have a set that just failed, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the set though. It failed, but I like the set.
Right. You're talking about Spider-Man.
Yep.
I don't know how hard it failed. I haven't seen any information on Spider-Man yet to be like they critically failed. We don't know if there was slight success. We don't know if they just met quota, like if they just made their money back on the product. We don't know nothing on that yet.
Right.
But through that survey that I did online with y'all, and you guys did, some of you guys did privately because I shared the link with you guys. This sounds like they're underperforming. That's what it sounds like.
As quickly as that survey appeared,
Uh-huh.
I think that speaks volumes about how the set performed overall. Again, we don't have any hard data yet, so that's fine.
Right.
But I think that we can infer from the fact that they rushed out that survey, and I'm assuming they rushed because generally we don't see things like that appear till maybe months later or sometime later, or maybe because of their compressed schedule, they rushed it out. But I think the questions on there were very leading, and I think it really does speak volumes about how that's performing and so on. I can't wait to see the numbers, though. I can't wait to see the real numbers.
Me too.
If we do.
Well, the worst thing about that survey is when they had you put content creators on there.
That was funny.
That was, and they got, I believe they got a bunch of backlash from that.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting, again, that they would call somebody out or call out the content creators just in general directly, though, as realizing that it's a problem. It makes me wonder, like, who came up with that survey? Did somebody outside of Wizards come to them and say, hey, you need to look at this? Or did somebody internally actually make that decision to say, hey, maybe we need to ask this question?
Oh yeah, like that's a good question. Who did this? Who made the survey? It sounds like they did. It sounds, from what I understand from Goldfish and whatnot, sounds like they made the survey and they decided to add the negative word into the survey when they talked about YouTube creators. And like when they were talking about that stuff. And I think it's funny because it seems like Wizards saying it can't be our fault, it must be your fault. You know.
Okay.
That's definitely how it felt when we read that.
Right.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that got me thinking. Questioning that there. I mean, how is it my fault?
Right.
I don't make the cards. I don't make the mechanics. All I do is just play the game.
Well, it's funny because they even made a note about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Turtles is going to be a 190 card set ish, whatever, and it's going to be a small set. And Wizards of the Coast made a statement, and I don't know who from Wizards of the Coast particular who made the statement. Maybe it was the guy who does the weekly show, Rasmussen, Blake Rasmussen.
Yeah, Blake.
I think he said it is that the turtle set was meant to be a small set, which I completely disagree with for them doing, and I'll give my explanation to why soon a little bit. But they made a point to say it was a small set, but it was meant to be a small set. Unlike Spider-Man, was not supposed to be as big as a set. So, like having to use words saying it's not as going to be bad as the Spider-Man set, basically, speaks volumes.
Yep.
You know, and they explained Spider-Man set was supposed to be a small set like Assassin's Creed, where it's just packs, small set and packs that you wouldn't get booster boxes, you just get packs. And I don't know if you buy blister bundles or anything, but they did it that way. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is supposed to be a small set, which why I disagree with why Turtles shouldn't be a small set is because not only do you have different renditions of the turtle and stuff you can use to make more turtles, they even have a card with different turtles on it from different shows and IPs, like even the movie Turtle. But one thing Ninja Turtles are known for is all the villains and anti-heroes in the set, all the mutants that they can make up. The what the ooze did to aliens. I've been watching the show on TV because it's in syndication on MeTV Cartoons, and I've been watching it at least at 11 o'clock at night here.
Right.
That's like I'm going to bed cartoon.
Well, all right. Well, I get the same kind of issue there with Turtles is because they do have so many villains. I mean, what they got? What? So you got Casey Jones, then the Turtles. That's 5 heroes right there.
That's right.
And then you got the Sensei, which is Splinter. Then, so you got 6 heroes, unless you want to count April O'Neil, which will make 7. And then you got all these villains and anti-heroes, and it's a bunch of. I mean, there is way more of them than it is the Turtles.
Right.
And I agree with Tortoise that should be more than 190. But from what I'm hearing, all sets in 2026 is going to be 190 cards.
Yeah, like
because they're dropping they're thinking that Wizards is thinking, well, we're dropping too many cards in standard. Well, the sets are not the issue. Give us the regular number drops of the sets, but just drop a set.
mm-hmm.
Drop a set off of your drop list, and just give us 5 to 6 sets a year, and that will be fine.
Hello, Shiminucci. What's
I
up?
think there's something else there as far as the amount of cards that are coming out also puts pressure on the designers when the sets are so large. I think there is an interesting paradox in there, though the reason I believe that the turtle set could have been larger is because the universe is more contained, whereas Spider-Man touches even more things than the Turtles do. But because the Turtles have their own universe, because Spider-Man crosses over with so many different properties, there's probably licensing agreements with each of those other characters and stuff. Whereas Turtles is a more contained universe.
Well,
So
I agree with you there on that sentiment, but there is an episode in the 2000s show with the CG Clubfoot Turtles. That's how I call them because I don't like their feet. There's an episode where they actually go through different universes of turtles to fight the Krang and Shredder, and they go from like the 80s cartoon to the 90s cartoon to the original comic book style art.
nice.
Yeah, so that's why that one picture they kind of dabbed on it on one of the cards. What was the card called? It was called Turtles Forever. It shows a creature, a turtle from the movie, from the cartoons, and from the comics. And so, that's proof that they could have done more and could have gone different ways. Because like, I can't say they won't, but if we don't get a Centurion or one of those Triceratop headed mutant aliens, I'll be disappointed.
Man, they've done it in the past. I think they're still doing it. Is they're missing out on what they could do because there's so much more they could do, and I think that they're missing on it. That's just my opinion about these sets that's dropping because there's so much. Because when they drop these sets, especially these very popular sets like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we already know that they're probably going to miss some miss there, and I hate it. But we're just players.
And I think Universes Beyond is not a bad thing for Magic the Gathering. I just think a lot of it is contributing to people's anxiety of the sets coming out, especially when we got 7 sets coming out this year, all standard legal, by the way.
Yep, all but one. Well, one's going to be paper standard.
Right. All will be standard, by the way. Even Marvel will be standard, even with its Omen Path release. All will be standard. You're basically guaranteed a set every 2 months, plus with a couple every month. And that's not talking about the rest of the lineup. That's not talking about all the secret layers coming out this year. That's not talking about any special project they have this year. We've had a lot of years where we had like 7 releases in a year. But the difference is, back in the day, Modern Horizons was not standard legal. So you get sets for standard players. You get sets for commander players. And with this Universes Beyond never being standard, like being a commander player back in the day was rough because we got all these releases and we got to pay attention to the cards coming out. Now, standard players are complaining because they're finally going through what commander players went through.
All these things being standard are forcing people to interact with IPs that they're not necessarily have any interest in. I know that in the past, Mark Rosewater had said, only engage with the products that you want and so on.
Right.
But to be competitive in a standard environment or to stay current with over half the sets being Universes Beyond.
Right.
And they're standard legal, that makes you have to. Even if you aren't interested in the cards, you're going to be forced to study the cards and learn the cards because you're going to be up against them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And imagine having to do that every 2 months now.
Yeah.
Just like
of a couple of sets will come out a month apart.
I agree with you there, Tibalt. Just for example, the card of the day, Bebop and Rocksteady. It's 7/5 for 3. It's pretty strong card.
It's gonna be a limited power.
And then you throw a creature in the graveyard to reanimate. I mean, that's pretty dang on strong.
Oh yeah.
And that's going to be a big staple in standard, I do believe.
Yeah, I'm trying not to stay on turtles because I can go on turtles forever.
Well, that card is only one in my head right now. So I'm sorry.
Right. Well, I'm just saying I'm not trying to focus on turtles because Universes Beyond is more than just turtles. Like, there's a lot of sets coming out. They might have powerful cards like Avatar, But, simply since I'm not a standard player, I'm just going to ignore the sets I don't want. In fact, my radar is just strictly turtles right now. And I probably will possibly try to ignore Whirlwind. right? Because
That's what I'm looking forward to.
right, Lorman's gonna be a good set. I got a feeling I like what their designs are showing right now. But like I want if I want to put anything anywhere, it's gonna be on that turtle set. Because that's what stole my attention. I talked about how back here on this shelf I have in this box right here I have every Turtles movie that had theaters in it. Like even the bad Michael Bay ones and the Batman versus Turtles one. And I got the whole complete the 80s season here. I got the very first movie on VHS. Still. And someone called me a super fan at one point, but I'm not. I don't think I wouldn't call myself a super fan. I'd call myself a long time fan. Because I don't have everything. I do have the Turtles over here. They're hard to see, but they're the Nickelodeon movie style classic Turtles. They're not as cool as NECA, but they're really cool because they're awesome. All right, I love Turtles, and Hillbilly got me the Turtle van that's hidden. That's really awesome.
Nice.
I like to collect Turtles, stuff I like as much as like Transformers, but like I think Turtles is gonna be better than Transformers when it comes to Magic because Transformers didn't have consistency of themes that fit together because you just basically got Transformers different abilities. You're gonna build a different deck out of them. Mm-hmm. Where Turtles, you're gonna have archetypes, which I'm excited for.
I've seen this to about Turtles comes out. He'll get a book, try to collect one of each card. If there's art cards,
that happening for sure.
If there's art cards, he's going to try to collect those art cards too.
Probably so.
If you're going to talk Turtles, I hope to get a play booster box, the 5-color commander deck, and the pizza box.
Nice.
That's like $400. Oof. That's wishful thinking in my playbook.
I'm wanting to know what I'm waiting for. I'm so for Turtles just as much as you are, Tortoise. I like the Turtles. I want to see what other commander decks they come out with. Right. Hopefully they do come out with more because I want some Turtle commander decks myself.
Oh, and did I fail to mention on my Turtles collection, I got this big old arcade cabinet for the Ninja Turtles behind me. And here I am wearing Jurassic Park,
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. If you were a super fan, you'd also be wearing Turtle merch.
Oh. He got a Turtle Cup back there he ain't telling you about.
There you go.
I do have a Turtle shirt.
You're getting closer now. You're getting closer to it.
Yeah.
But you brought up something. Sorry. You brought up something interesting, which is how, as strictly a commander player, how much is this impacting you?
Like, as strictly as a commander player,
mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, a lot of stuff don't impact me. Like, there's cards I want that I still haven't got, but it ain't affecting my decks, right? Not having it. I'm playing with them still. Like, I still want that token doubler from Edge of Eternity's that Angel.
Mm.
And she's like a $30, $40 card at the moment. I think so. I could be wrong. But like, that's a card I want, but it's not hurting me. It's not hurting me to have it. Right. And I think a lot of the mentality of today, I'm gonna stare at my camera, so I'm looking at you. So today, I think a lot of the mentality that we struggle with in the community is people thinking if they want to be known for playing Magic, they got to keep up with all the sets, and Wizards pumping too many sets out. But honestly, you do not have to buy into every set to say you're a fan of Magic, because Magic is starting to do these IPs, and I'm not a fan of SpongeBob, so SpongeBob IP was not for me. So I opted out. Avatar. I don't know much about Avatar. That probably ain't going to be a set for me. So I'm not going to opt into it. But some people feel like, well, if I want to stay relevant with YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or Instagram, because people are making money off this product stuff, they feel like they have to buy into it. Because I think that's what's changing the environment. Other than the collectors buying into it, other than the scalpers and opportunistic resellers getting into this, is I think people are focused on making a secondary income off the social medias, because that's the way to get passive secondary income nowadays. The more subscribers and more memberships you have, the more views you get. People are going for it. It's pretty much the secondary world of finance that people are getting into this stuff that they feel like it is. And that's just my visual opinion of how I see things. Because like we get a lot of people who just want to make money selling the product they love. They want to stay relevant because when a new set comes out, then people are searching that topic. That's the hot topic. People are looking for videos and social media things on that particular set. And I think that's what's driving the crazy mad. And I think why Spider-Man is struggling is because people already have the presumptuous thought that it's not that great of a set. And it's really not that great of a set. It's a fun set with fun cards. But, you know, when you look at the strategies and synergies, there's just not a lot of support in it. And I think that's why people kind of stay away from it, because the collector packs are just ridiculously expensive, but the cards you get are not worth the price.
Right.
Well, another reason why I think Spider-Man, I think there's another reason why Spider-Man has failed. You know, some people, they want to get on the arena and see the Spider-Man cards to see how they work and everything. And you ain't going to find Spider-Man on arena. You ain't going to find, when the Marvel set comes out next year, you ain't going to find that set on arena. And people don't want to try to look at, you know, to compare this card, his Omen Pass card, to the Spider-Man card. And they just don't want to do that because that's more work. Because, you know, people hate to work. And that's a big drawback on the Marvel sets.
You definitely hit that on the head, especially for me. I chose not to engage with much Spider-Man. I did get a bundle. But yeah, I would be more likely to even seek out singles if I knew exactly what the correlation was between the Omen Path card and the Spider-Man card. But because there's too much research that has to go into it to be involved in it, like that's hurt my chances of using this or doing it going forward, because that's just too much work. It would just be easier for me to just wait for the next set. But I do think you hit on a very important thing, which is the enjoyment of Magic isn't necessarily tied to every new set. And as content creators, you might feel like that, though, because you do want to engage as a content creator with each set that comes out as it comes out. But since I've scaled back my purchasing of Magic, I've got to let those things go. And what I'm going to be focusing on going forward is going on my older decks, my older commander decks, focusing on those and how to improve those, maybe sprinkling in a little bit of the new sets here and there. But I think that Magic has a long and storied history, and those are the things that can be the focus going forward, more than just what's the new product and what's the new drop and why this sucks and why that sucks or whatever. I think as content creators, it's up to us to find a way to make it engaging for everybody.
Right.
I mean, but I understand what you're saying. But when somebody wants to play Spider-Man, they do that search on YouTube to see Spider-Man cards. They ain't going to find that.
Yeah.
That's why that's one reason why it flopped. Because the arena hurt the sales of Spider-Man because nobody can see the gameplay of Spider-Man.
Right.
Really quick, I want to play this clip.
Subscribe to show people we are having a party.
What's up? So I got a question then.
Yeah.
When for example, the Aether Drift and the Spider-Man set, do you think if they would have took the time to really develop the product instead of having all these products out, do you think if they took a little bit more time developing the product, do you think it would have done a better job on the sales?
I believe it would have helped some.
Right.
I'm going to say no, but we'll get to that in a second.
All right. What I want to say is I think this round, they use Spider-Man as a crutch for their sales because it's a popular IP. and basically they made a doodle of a set instead of a masterpiece, and they just expected the name Spider-Man to sell it for them. That's how I felt about it.
When you said Ether Drift and Spider-Man, Ether Drift feels like a flop to me because it didn't fit into the universe at large. It's not that it couldn't have. It's not that they could have done it if they took more time to develop it. I think that if that had led up to it and they had focused more on the arcane stuff as opposed to slick cars and things like that, if they were cobbled together carts that used magic and stuff, which I mean sounds silly, but I think if you had gone deeper into a high concept of making it more magical, it would have felt better.
Right.
Then instead of slick dragsters and racers and stuff like that. I know they had it a little bit, but I feel like if they'd gone further, that would have fit. I don't feel any way that Spider-Man could fit into the universe, much the same way The Walking Dead felt out of place. It just wasn't high fantasy and didn't necessarily belong there. Spending more time, maybe they could have made it fit. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe Spider-Man goes through a portal and focus more on Spider-Man in a Magic universe than taking us as Magic players into New York.
Right. Teglar says, could Edge of Drift have been a test set for Star Trek? I think that would have been Edge of Eternities.
Exactly, Edge of Eternities.
I was thinking the same thing, Edge of Eternities.
Yeah.
Because Star Trek has to deal with space, and so does Edge of Eternities.
Mm-hmm.
I think Edge of Eternities is a setup for Star Trek, especially since they changed Commander rules in Edge of Eternities.
And you know what I think? I think it's weird that Star Trek's going to be in Magic because I don't understand how, other than like a select character from the show, is going to implement the idea of Magic in the set. Like, it's all mechanical. So is everything going to be, is it based in the set? Probably not. But I was even talking to my wife about Star Trek, and she said that doesn't seem like it fits. I'm like, well, if it fits or not, it's going to be a fun set, right? And she's like, probably.
I mean, I can understand where you and your wife are coming from on this about Star Trek and everything, because what's so magical about Star Trek? I mean, yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they are just fighting our Ninja Turtles, and they do cross multiverses. Star Trek does some.
Right.
Well,
you.
But
what I hear rings out to me is what does God need with a starship? that line from Star Trek.
Right.
So the idea of them being in a high fantasy setting just doesn't feel right. However, much like all the Universe Beyond stuff, I'm interested to see what they do with the cards.
Yep.
How they try to shoehorn it.
I want to see warp speed.
Yeah.
Really.
And then, like, honestly, even though Disney owns it, my wife was like, I think Star Wars would fit better in the Magic universe than Star Trek, and that's because that deals with the Force and everything.
For sure. Yeah.
So, but like, don't hold your breath. You know, there's like, if we can get Disney IP like Marvel and Spider-Man, maybe we can get Disney IP like Star Wars in the set one time. You know, in fact, a long time ago, some people created a Star Wars variant of Magic, which is a very different variant of Magic that had its own format that people loved playing. But, you know, that's one thing about Magic is people love playing Magic their own way. There's people for Momer Vig, like the set, like the format. People love that on Magic the Gathering online.
Yeah. But what I got to say about Star Trek, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a lot of starships on it, of course. You got multiple enterprises. You got Deep Space Nine. You got the Ferengi. And then you got the wherever Worf was.
Klingon.
Yeah, Klingon. I mean, you got all them. They all got spaceships. You're gonna have multiple spaceships, and you're gonna have multiple creatures.
Mhm. Well, they're gonna do a lot. Like,
Oh yeah,
tell you what, I'll be sorely upset if we don't get a Ferengi that doesn't create a treasure token.
yeah, I know. They should do that. Sure.
Like when we go back to Lord of the Rings, they need to make a food token that says potato. You know.
Really?
But anyways,
Of course that's in the Hobbit.
yeah, they could put in the Hobbit, but
Yep.
it's a little late for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
True.
But
Very
anyways, but like, look, I'm not opposed to Universes Beyond here. Universes Beyond, I like some sets, right? And like as our friend Backwoods Collector once said, he said I'm not a fan of Universes Beyond, but if they ever made a set that I liked, I'd go for it. And so far, Wizards hit my demographic pretty good. I mean, we got Transformers, we got Jurassic Park, now we're getting Turtles. That's 3 out of 3 right there. And if you didn't pay attention to my shelf, you got Jurassic Park, got Transformers, we got Turtles.
It's funny because I actually stopped to think about this in the terms of role playing. And, there's all the different sets out here. There's, D&D, and you've got Shadowrun, and you've got this and that. But my absolute favorite set of all is GURPS, which is the generic role-playing system, generic universal role-playing system. And that's kind of what Magic has become from all these Universes Beyond. You plug in the set that you want into a core set of rules, and it's a different way of looking at it that's like, I'm okay with it in this case. I'm learning to be okay with it with Magic.
Yep.
Well, let me throw this thought out to you. All right. When I was a little lad, a little kid, a little tiny tyke, and I had all the toys in the world, which I had IP toys. I had like Spider-Man, Marvel. I had Transformers. I had the Mask, not the Mask with Jim Carrey, but Mask figures like vehicles and stuff. And I had other toys, right? I had other toys. And I had a whole lot of toys growing up. Transformers just being like the biggest collection that I had at the time before I got rid of my collection. But anyways, when I was a kid, I would play with my Transformer and my Marvel characters that play in the same universe in my brain. That'd be the stories I'd developed in my brain. I'd play with all these different toys from different IPs. And I can't remember all the IPs that they had. Yeah. I can't remember all the different toys I had. But like I'd always play with them together like they were going to war together. Because that was the way I played with toys.
Right.
Have to fight each other. Wizards of the Coast is basically doing that for adults now. Like you play with toys mixed together. Now you can play with your IPs and a card game mixed together.
Yep.
You can have Star Trek. You can have Captain Jean-Luc Picard fight against Sonic the Hedgehog. You can have SpongeBob go house against Transformer.
Yep.
So what they're doing is basically kind of creating a world of our childhood just as adults. If we like the IP mixes or not, and I hate to say this, but it's the boomer mentality that's really hurting the concept of Universes Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the people who don't like change and I don't like bananas on my pancake kind of thought. Is that another persona of you, Tabal? Yeah, that's right.
Yes, it is. It was the previous pre-Tibble's Apprentice. If you really want to laugh, you can do a search for Dread Return, and you can see old videos of mine and stuff before I settled into what you see before you today.
But yeah, so like what I'm saying is like what Wizards do with Universes Beyond is no different from our what we did as kids, played as kids. The only thing is they're growing up, they're growing their franchise differently now. with turtles, transformers, dinosaurs. You know, like, can you imagine how excited I can be if I have a turtles deck that can go against a Jurassic Park deck, and I have dinosaurs go versus turtles? That's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
That might be a fun thing to do on Spell Table at some point. If we get enough to put together, if each of us get enough cards of that type, we should all do a tribal deck or an IP deck and play against each other.
That'd be awesome to do IP work.
Yes, IP wars.
All right. See, if there was a dinosaur with mount, you'd be able to saddle the dinosaur with the turtle.
Right.
You'd have a turtle riding a dinosaur.
Which is not unheard of in the turtles world. They actually rode dinosaurs in a couple of episodes. So
Nice.
Or did.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so you know, like I said, I'm not against the IPs. I feel indifferent with the amount of IPs coming out this year, like how many of them are not in universe sets. But I'm excited for certain things, and I know when I like something, I know when I don't like something, you know. But we got some great sets coming out here. In fact, let me show you. I need to update this, but you know, we got a lot of good sets coming out this year. Like it's a lot of sets for standard. But we're getting some banger sets. We got Lorwyn, Turtles, Secrets of Strixhaven, Marvel Superheroes, The Hobbit, Reality Fracture, and Star Trek. And from what we know, this is going to be a banger of a year for the set. So this might be the all-star set. I mean, Marvel Superheroes should not be as bad as Spider-Man.
I don't.
If they've taken the time, because that's where I start to worry about the thing that I do worry about is, like, I can accept, if I have to, I can accept the universes beyond, but when the designers are stretched to putting in new mechanics and new things like that,
Right.
That's what I worry about. I worry about either the things will become bland because they won't be able to make new keywords, new things, or they'll go the opposite direction and rename keywords, and then it will just get more confusing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, my concern on these sets is, these sets, great lineup. Way to go, Wizards. Awesome job. Can't wait for these sets to drop and to play with them. But I'm just worried about if there's going to be enough synergy in the sets. Going to be enough mechanics in the set that will, synergize together. I mean, I know they'll probably be better on synergy with the older cards and the newer cards together, but there's not. But by them coming out, saying that the sets are going to be shrinking, I don't think that might hurt the synergies of the decks, of any decks that people try to build, because less cards.
Did I hear you say that all the sets going forward were about 190 cards? Is that right? Or
Yep, that's what I heard from Blake on YouTube.
Okay.
Well,
So
they
maybe
want
they
to
are
try
trying
something new, which I think is going to devastate the system.
Oh,
If what you're saying is true, collecting won't be as big as an issue, because if the sets are so small, they can pretty much buy like 3 boxes and collect everything.
Yep,
And not have to buy more product.
I agree.
Unless they do a lot of dupes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Fantastic better have reach. All
Yeah.
right, my friends, it is that time of the day where I remind you that you're awesome. If you're a member of the channel, the second tier membership gets a copy of this thing to print out. You can put your date of official membership, name of official member. Have fun. That's just a little go grab me if you are a member of the channel. I don't know. I just popped that up because sometimes you need a reminder that you can be part of the creep like that. Because when you subscribe, you're part of the creep too. And what am I looking for? Oh yeah, I'm in the wrong section. Oh, really quick before I get to the shield section, one thing I hope to see, as they did it with Hot Wheels and Magic, I hope we see card types that look like this. Like the picture of the card will look like a turtle skew. and the back of the card will have the text of the card on it. I think that'd be cool.
Cool as blister packs. Yeah, that'd be neat.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, my friends, it is time we hit this section.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Well, everybody, we're in the shill section, the thrill section, the section.
Now, I have a question, Tortoise.
What?
What if they make turtle toys? Of course, you know they do. They threw a magic card in with that turtle toy. You gonna go buy that turtle?
If I see it on the shelf and I have the funding, probably. But if they're like $40 for that action figure, probably not. Because, like, if you notice this lovely display case right here, this is how much space I got to collect new toys. All right, I have a lot of Transformers in drawers right now. Until we get into a bigger place and have a place to display them, they're hiding. You know,
just put them on the shelves, not in your drawers.
Don't be jealous. My drawers can hold all the Transformers. All right. But anyways, my friends, we need to get to the shill section, thrill section. We're gonna start with Lone Wolf again.
Hey everybody. Thanks for letting me hang out, and yeah, let's get Hillbilly and Tortoise up to 1,500 subscribers, and don't forget to check out Tybalt too.
And also, don't forget to check out the GoFundMe link in the description below. If you want to help, if you can, that'd be awesome. Help Lone Wolf get into a new place that's more affordable and luxurious. I say luxurious because luxurious means he can afford it. Let's hope we can get there. With that, we're going to move to Tybalt.
Hey. Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on, of course. So recent events have caused me to focus on my Narset deck for good or bad. So this week I am focusing on specific cards for the Narset deck and having a lot more discussion about that. But if you're interested in Narset as a commander, if you're interested in anything of mine, the best place to find it is darkritual.site. That's where everything gets tied together. So you can find my TCG Player store there. You can find my blog. You can find the Arcane Nexus. If you have any questions about how a card could be used, you might plug it into the Arcane Nexus and get some suggestions for what's there. And in the meantime, thank you so much for having me.
All right, yeah, check out his darkritual.site. Link is in the description below as well. And he also has a store that if you're looking for singles, you can check that out too.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, Shamanuchi. This is nice. I'm going to check it out. Check it out.
Cool.
All right, then we got the crazy, the fanatic, the insane. Hey, Billy.
Hey everybody, I'm going to try to do a 2:00 stream today. Yeah, that's really all I got planned today. I'm also going to try to do a commander game tonight, arm permitting, that is. You know, I am dealing with a pinched nerve, and oh man, it makes it hard to hold cards sometimes because my whole arm goes numb. But so I'm going to try to throw in a commander game tonight at 7:00. But I'm also going to a 2:00 stream. That's all I got planned for today.
So 2:00 and possibly 7:00. Let's go.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Today's Tuesday. Today's the normal day. I try to hit up Hillbilly's commander game. You know, keep an eye on the channel around 7 p.m. If he doesn't do a commander game, maybe I will stream something. Maybe I'll keep you entertained while he's gone if he has to be gone. Yes. But with that, I want to remind you that you're awesome and you're amazing. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you, channel members, for supporting the channel the way you do. Same with the subscribers who grow the channel and become vast in the community of building the creep. You guys rock. You guys roll. I want to remind you that you're loved, that someone's thinking about you. And if you can, say and or do something positive to someone else, because you might be the change you need today. With that, thanks everybody for being here, and stay chilly, my friends. Chilly. I want to thank you channel members of the channel, for supporting this creep the way you do. You are awesome. And you subscribers, everybody that subscribes, you're doing amazing too. Thank you very much for all that you do.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to